And welcome to the Midday Show. I am Jeff Everett. I'm here as always with Mark Messina, and it's an exciting day today. We are actually here to help promote the Tioga County Fair. We want to welcome Rachel Courtney of the Sugar Mama Maple.
She just told you this.
I know.
3 minutes ago.
Well, it is a mouthful.
It's a mouthful, honestly.
There it is.
Your mama's Appalachian Maple. There you go.
Perfect. And we're also here with Rhonda Vincent as well. Rhonda Vincent and The Rage will be at the Tioga County Fair on Thursday. Did I get that right?
That's right. We're excited to get
Grammy award winning.
All right, the syrup or Rhonda?
Well, it would be hard for the syrup to win a Grammy.
We have a running joke on the show.
It's not a joke though. We're really serious.
We have a running joke on the show that we are the almost Emmy nominated Midday Show. So we're almost Emmy nominated.
I was the Susan Lucci of the Grammys, so I get it.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, I saw. How many times were you nominated? You won in 17?
Seven times.
Oh, you're a far cry from Susan Lucci. So, so just, I don't even know. This is going to be the most all over the map interview you've ever done. I want to get to, in case Jeff hogs all the time here and I only get one question. You are a member now. Well, you won a Grammy Award. You're a bluegrass, I guess. You're a bluegrass legend. You are a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes.
That is like the Hall of Fame. That is like a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like in your world, that's as big as it gets. Tell us how that happened. What was that like, and what does it mean? Do you show up any day and say, I'm here, and they let you in? How does that work?
It's by invitation only, and I had made my 215th time. That was my 215th performance. Had no idea. In fact, I had kind of said, you know what? I will probably never be a member. I'm just always honored to get to perform on the stage. And it was February 28th of 2020. Jeannie Seeley walked out after we sang her song and said, how would you like to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry? And I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. Yes. In fact, I thought I wasn't hearing her correctly. So I'm thrilled to be a member and love that. It's a dream come true.
So how many people are in? What is that?
I'm not sure. I think there's like 60 members, 60 living members, maybe.
Okay.
I think all told, and see, here's the thing. There's even I asked him, what number am I? Because the wiki page says I'm 213. And then Gene Watson was like 221, which would make me 222. A family has come back and said, wait, our family member was a member of the Opry years ago. And so that's going to shift all of the member numbers, which has kind of made people a little upset.
So that's all I need. I can just call up and say, well, my family, and then we just shift it again. That's all it takes.
They're researching that. I don't think they just take them at their word, but yeah.
So
the records years ago were a little sketchy.
So that's neat to know that. So the number, so like in other Hall of Fames, the number means nothing. But apparently, so in the Grand Ole Opry, it really matters. Like people know their number and they hold to it.
I mean, I think that they do. I'm assuming that they do. Like Mark Wills, he's a member, and it's important. The number that he is, I'm not sure what is his number. That's important to him. He's like, no, I don't want to give up my number. I just figure I'm a member of the Opry. You can give me any number you want.
No, but it makes sense because they don't have like an induction class like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or
Right.
the Football Hall of Fame. They just kind of do it one at a time. So that would make sense.
Right.
So here's my question. We looked you up. And did our research because we're close to the same generation. I'm an MTV generation, the hair metal bands and all that stuff. So as a bluegrass musician, you're obviously playing the Tioga County Fair. When you go on the road, what are your shows like? Or are you, I assume you're in Nashville a lot, but you're on the road a lot as well, I would suspect.
Right. Well, I travel with world-class musicians. They are all at the very top of their game. There's a lot of energy in the show that we play. I mean, bluegrass is a happy, family-oriented music anyway. But I travel with these. I mean, these people their skill set is amazing on their instruments. So when you're watching them play, it's just amazing. I stand amazed, and I get to travel. I feel honored to travel with these amazing musicians. You're going to hear the styles of music. Like we have our latest album. album, Music Is What I See, was nominated for a Grammy. Got to go to the Grammys, and I got to meet Paris Hilton. And so we're doing music from that, which is everywhere from hard driving, straight ahead bluegrass with the banjo. I do a classic, I think the very first bluegrass version of Unchained Melody, which is very unlikely. And then we do gospel songs. So there's something for everyone. And bluegrass is very family oriented, and our show is family oriented. And I feature my guys. So there's a lot of variety for everyone.
So you met Paris Hilton. You know who you won't be meeting at the Grammys? Will Smith.
Who's that?
Will Smith. You won't be there anytime.
So Rachel, thanks for joining us as well. You help out with the Tioga County Fair. Can you tell us what exactly is your role within the Tioga County Fair? And then we'll dive into some of the things that are going on there, including Rhonda.
So I am in charge of promoting the fair. I'm their ad agent. So anywhere from Instagram, Facebook posting, working with the radio stations, newspapers, anything to promote the fair.
Awesome. So it's been a very long time. Selfishly, I have not been to the Tioga County Fair in a very, very long time.
You gotta get up there.
I know. I have some good memories of it, though, growing up when I was younger. What are some of the stuff that you have going on? Obviously, vendors and different things like that. But what are some of the staples of the Tioga County Fair for someone who's never been before?
So your typical fair stuff, really. We have a truck and tractor pull, which happened last night. We have a fireworks display that happened Monday night. We usually have a larger concert, but throughout the week we also have more local bands, local talent that'll play throughout the week at different times in the day. Canine dog show. This year we did bring back the rodeo, so we have Bull Ride Mania, which is also happening Thursday night along with Rhonda's concert. Demolition Derby, which happens Friday and Saturday night.
Now, Rhonda, you're doing
of course our livestock shows. All those things are happening throughout the week at various times.
Awesome.
Now, Rhonda, you're doing 2 shows tomorrow night, correct? 1 at 6, 1 at 8.
That's right, and there'll be different shows. We do a different show each time, so come to both shows.
Now, is that okay? Now, this is where I go off on my stupid questions. Is that for marketing purposes, or is that for like, I don't want to say boredom, but creativity purposes? Because you have so many songs you want to play that you divide it up.
Well, we have a lot of people who come to many different shows. Like we have a guy that's been to over 400 shows, and so we have repeating customers, and they come to both. They always know that when they come to our show, we don't use a set list, first of all. So it's always different. And we always make a conscious effort. If we played once we played Silver Dollar City, 6 days in a row, 4-hour shows per day. And we purposely, this guy sat on the front row for every show. And we always did a different show.
You have no set list?
No set list. No.
So between songs, you're just like, hey, this is it. And
well, this song is about to end. I'm calling the next song to the guys. Yeah. And it also keeps your band on their toes because they don't know. A lot of times I just go into a song. They don't even know what's coming.
So like, I love music and I can't play anything. Well, let me ask you this. These are super. So how many instruments can you play that are like good enough that you would play on stage?
Well, all of my guys, we all play the different instruments. I normally will play in a set, maybe my mandolin is my first instrument, but I also play some twin fiddle with Hunter, and I might play guitar. I might just play a song with just a guitar. So I play at least 3 different instruments on stage. The guys are the same way. My guys they can virtually just switch every solo, and they're all very proficient on all the different instruments, which is another reason that it gives us great variety, different textures and different voices. Everybody sings, everybody plays.
Okay, so when I saw Springsteen a few years back, and he was doing a thing, and I don't know if he still does it, but like people from the audience would hold up signs of a song he wanted them to play. And the day I was there, he did Shout from the Isley Brothers. A little bit louder now. And he walked around and he talked to the guys and he's like, hey, we haven't done this one in 20 years. We do it. And if it wasn't an act, if it was legitimate, it seemed like in about 45 seconds, the guitar players were talking to each other. They're looking at the drummer. And he's like, we got to go. And they went and they sounded like they had rehearsed it. Are the great musicians that good that they can just do it?
Usually, yeah. Even if they don't know the song, if you can hum a little bit of the tune to them, and people do that, they will shout out a song. I mean, hopefully it's one we know. The most adorable thing, the other night, a little boy, he was probably 10, and he walked up to the front of the stage at our show in Knoxville. And because I don't know this song. I mean, I know Dina Carner, we've done the Opry with her, but he wanted to hear the song Strawberry Wine, like strawberry wine. So I never sang that. And he would.
So you told him, you said, just sit down and shut up, kid.
I didn't say that, but I said, you know what? I don't really know that song. I'm very sorry. He just stood there with the pitiful face and looked at me. And I saw, you know what? I said, okay. So I sang the chorus. Here is, you never know how a song is going to affect someone. So after the show, someone told me his mother passed away and that was her favorite song. And I got chills. So thrilled that we sang this chorus for this little boy. That was so important. That's why he stood there and just like said, Strawberry Wine. It was my mom. It's my mom's favorite. I mean, I had no idea she had passed away. But isn't that crazy how these songs, that's important that you sing their request. I'm getting chills now thinking of it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
By the way, and Rhonda, you wouldn't know this. Jeff is the most famous person ever to come out of Tioga County. So when people they won't be excited to meet you. They'll be excited that you talk to Jeff.
Oh my God. I tell everybody.
That's like a fraction of the truth. Real quick, Rhonda, I just want to ask you one question real quick. Rachel, people who have not bought tickets yet for the show, where can they go? How do they do this? What's the process? Can they just show up or do they need to have them beforehand?
They can buy it at the door, or they can hop onto the fair's website, www.TiogaCountyFair.com, and there's a link there that they can purchase them through.
Okay, awesome. I was looking, like, because obviously we knew you were coming on, Rachel, or I'm sorry, Rhonda. So we knew you were coming on. We started looking through stuff. I saw Born in Missouri. I believe I have that right. And I started going through kind of like your past and kind of through the history. For a lot of people, like, to finally get into the Grand Ole Opry or to finally win a Grammy, I think for a lot of people, they think musicians, it's like this like boom moment and like everything happens quickly. But reading through, like, that wasn't necessarily the case for you. Can you kind of tell us like how you started and kind of the journey up through? Because when I was reading through, it really was a journey for you.
It has been. I mean, I grew up in a musical family, so it's kind of been, this is just my life and living life and each opportunity that comes forward. And, you know, it's not in our time, it's in God's time. And that's the amazing thing about that is just waiting for that opportunity and being ready for that opportunity more than anything. But grew up in a musical family. That was when I was 5, we had a TV show, a radio show, made our first recording. And so enjoyed this wonderful life of music. My dad would pick me up from school every day and we played till dinner. And after dinner, friends would come over and we'd play till bedtime. So there was a music party at my house every night, which sounds exciting. And I thought everyone else was doing that. Until you get to be a teenager and you find out that Barb Wheeler's at the skating rink and I'm still here with my family playing music. But that's the thing. It prepared me for what I do now. 5 generations of music in the Vincent family, and very exciting news. My daughter Sally, she continues in the 6th generation now of the Vincent family. Watch for her. She will be one of the new lead vocalists in the United States Navy band Country Current.
Nice. That is nice. I have to back you up. You said that you guys had your own TV show?
They're the Osmonds. That's Marie.
Well, yes. When I was 5, it was a TV show. And that's why we were called the Sally Mountain Show and not the Vincent family. It was my grandpa, mom and dad, aunts, uncle, cousins, and friends. So there was a large group of us and we were called the Sally Mountain Show. It was at 5 a.m. on Friday mornings, the Farm Report.
See, Rhonda, you're the only one that laughed at this joke because these two are too young to remember the Osmond show. But we
no.
We won.
I was going to marry Donnie. I was going to marry him.
Yeah, well, he was a little bit rock and roll, you know, and she was a little bit country. So okay, here's my question that I ask every musician that I ever get to talk to. Because like I just saw Motley Crue and Def Leppard a couple weeks ago. What do you listen to that would shock us that since you're like the bluegrass, you know,
the Queen
of Blue. I was going to say Godmother, but then I didn't know that was it. And then, So you're the Queen of Bluegrass. Like, tell me something you would listen to that would surprise us.
Well, I think a shocking thing, probably for my father, because we only listen to country and gospel and bluegrass and the Grand Ole Opry. So for him is now we turned a polka song into a bluegrass song. We do the song Crazy Love, and also the Randy Van Warmer song. Now they probably don't know these songs either, because these are from the 70s. The song Just When I Needed You Most, we also do that song. So
April Wine. Isn't that April Wine? Oh no, that's just between you and me. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
No. But anyway, there's songs from the 70s that are probably, but I listen to James Taylor. That's probably not that much of a stretch. But as far as anything, the groups that you're listening to, like my dad would have said, whoa, that's
So
might be of the
there's no Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, AC/DC in your repertoire?
I know. I mean, I know those names, but that's not something I'm familiar with. I was so sheltered, and we were playing music so much. This is the craziest thing. The song Yesterday, I thought the Country Gentlemen, the bluegrass group, the Country Gentlemen, were the original version of that. I had no idea there was another group that did Yesterday. That's how sheltered that my father kept us.
Wow. You're going to fit right in Tioga County.
All right.
Rachel, I'll put you on the spot one more time. If I drag Mark up to the Tioga County Fair, and obviously Rhonda's going to be on her way there, do you have like a favorite thing that you look forward to? Is there a vendor? Is there something like you have to eat or have to drink?
Vendor. She
No?
can't. She's in charge of the whole thing.
She can
make one vendor happy and then piss off all the other ones.
Oh, she can say her favorite.
I will tell you that fair food is my favorite part of the fair. I love fair food, so my gallbladder doesn't, but I do.
It's healthy as all get out. If you eat one funnel cake a day for a week, it is just, there's nothing better than that.
We're up there like every night too eating, so yeah. But
So Rhonda,
do you have elephant ears, or do they have those there? Because those are my favorite.
I didn't see elephant ears.
I was never, I always thought elephant ears were overrated. So after, how much are you on tour now? Are you just doing like summer shows, or are you like after Tioga, are you going back home, or do you have somewhere else?
We stay on tour. We're going to the Tioga Fair on Thursday, Marion, North Carolina on Friday, the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday, Steelville, Missouri on Sunday. And then we're getting ready to go to Canada, Eastern up near Quebec, and then we're going to Switzerland, Stade.
So Rhonda, how do you, like, you come to Tioga County and then you got to go to the Grand Ole Opry. How do you bounce back after that? Like, how do you get back into the vibes of, you play this great venue, you're in Tioga County, it's the greatest place, and then you got to go perform at the Grand Ole Opry. How do you pull that off?
You know what? I love that I wake up each day and I never know where we are. It's always a different venue. It's a different atmosphere. I'm hoping there's a scrambler or a tilt-a-whirl at the fair, because I want to ride those and an elephant ear. Those are the three things that I need.
That should go for it. Well, make sure you stop by the maple syrup tent. I'm sure, is there not a maple syrup tent, Rachel?
Miller's Maple is up there, so
Okay.
You'll have to try some maple cream or some maple cotton candy.
Oh, maple cotton candy.
Maple cotton
And if
candy.
anybody's listening from outside of the area, make a day trip up. You know, we also have the PA Grand Canyon up here in Wellsboro. We have Hills Creek. It's really a beautiful area. So come up, check out the parks, and then come on over to the fair.
So right next to the maple cotton candy stand, you have a dentist, right? Is that?
Okay, but no.
So I was surprised. You said you're going to Switzerland. Have you traveled Europe before?
I have. That's Switzerland is our most traveled country, and so we're excited to get to return to Stade, because it's a beautiful place. And when you go there, you can go up and see a glacier. You go up the gondola so high, you have to get on a second gondola and go on up. And then there's a roller coaster, a gravity coaster that slings you out on the side of the mountain. And then as you stand there on a clear day, as you look over, you can see the Matterhorn. So it's exciting. We're going to be there with Marty Stewart and Carly Pierce, one of the newest members of the Opry.
So like, I just seems like bluegrass seems so Americana. What is the reception over there? Like, obviously you have a following or you wouldn't go.
Oh, it's amazing. They stomp their feet like the last time we were there, my fiddle player did a song called Wow Baby that he wrote. And we didn't know what was going on. It was like the whole place is stomping their feet. He had to play it a second time. If they love a song so much, they'll just stomp their feet and they won't stop stomping until you play it a second time. So they're very enthusiastic. They love the music.
That really surprised me. That's one of the things I'll take, because it just, Europe is such like an old time rock and roll, and the British invasion and all that stuff, that it would just seem that bluegrass would be like this niche for America, and I would not have guessed that you would have a big following over there. But that's neat.
Well, that was one of the neatest things about the Garth Brooks documentary that I think I told you about, was how many people overseas loved Garth Brooks. Like, he was selling those places out, and that blew my mind when I was watching the doc on Netflix.
Funny story, I just have to bring it up now that you say Garth Brooks. Before he got big, we actually had him at the Tioga County Fair.
No, what year?
She later on did an interview and was asked what was the worst venue you were at, and we made the interview.
No.
That's why your concert's indoors.
We
don't do outdoor concerts anymore. They got rained out, so.
That is awesome. I had heard that he played somewhere. Maybe it was Tioga. I had heard like Cumming County, somewhere on his way up, that he had played somewhere, but I thought it was smaller. It's the worst. So of all the places in the world, he picked the Tioga County Fair.
I guess so, but you know what? I love our little fair. It really is a good fair.
I agree.
I said this, and I always go. They have the Lycoming County Fair, and you didn't go again this year, did you?
To the Lycoming County?
Yeah.
No, I'm Tioga County Fair only.
You are faithful.
Yes.
You are not a county fair adulterer.
I do not wander.
You just you just run into people. First of all, everyone's happy at the fair, unless it's too hot. That's the only thing. But up in Mansfield, it's never ever been too hot, has it?
It's 15 degrees cooler there right now.
Is it hoodie weather? Do people wear hoodies tonight? How cold is it going to be?
No, we were in the 60s last night. It did finally drop down and cool off, but no, we've had 80 to 90 degree weather here for the past couple weeks. It's been pretty hot, so
you walk around, you buy, as we said, funnel cakes. There's great food, and you just run into people that everyone's happy at the fair. I don't think I've ever had a bad time at the fair. I mean, really.
You've never been dumped at the fair. Don't people get dumped at the fair? I feel like people can get dumped at the fair.
Speaking of dumped, is she gone?
Rhonda, she'll be back.
Somebody call me for a second. Sorry.
Did you get dumped at the fair?
I've never been dumped at the fair. I don't go to the fair that often, so that might be why.
Did you dump someone at the fair?
I've never been the dumpy at the fair.
Did you think like here?
That stay at the fair all weekend long. They're showing animals. They've cared for these animals all year long, and they're up there showing them off. Some of them get auctioned off then. So these kids know they've spent all this time raising their animals, and they're going to go and get sold at the livestock auction. They really do a great job. So these kids are putting the time and effort. They really care about what they're doing. We have a large agricultural community, which Jeff would know. He's from the area. Yeah. So our fair, really, we like to get the kids involved, the next generation, keep our ag community going.
And if I remember correctly too, Rachel, like some of these kids that are showing some of the livestock, I mean, they're not even in their teens yet.
Oh no, they're little. So I think
it's really neat to see them do
8 years old to show, I believe. So some of them are pretty little, and they have some great big cows they're leading around, and they show them who the boss is, and the cow follows right along. So.
No, it's really, really neat. Before we go, Rhonda, we gave Rachel a chance. We pumped up the fair. I tried to pump up the syrup. Sugar Mama Appalachian Maple.
Try one more time. Sugar Mama's Appalachian Maple.
So I'm trying to pump up syrup. Rhonda, is there anything that you didn't get to promote? Anything you want to throw out there before we go?
Oh, just go to RhondaVincent.com and come see us and come to both shows, different songs. And, well, I'm excited to get to the fair. It'll be my first fair of the year.
Awesome.
Hold on, I didn't hear. Did she say first fair or worst fair? I'm not.
Oh,
I thought maybe we were on a.
I shouldn't even told that story on air.
That's a great story. No, you got to tell that story.
First
that is
fair of the year. And you know what? You have nice kids there, I'm sure. But I did hear of some like maybe one of you guys would have been this one. So I heard that a young man took a girl that he was going to break up with, and he took her up on the Ferris wheel, and he knew she was afraid of that, and then kind of swung the seat like he thought she was going to dump her over. So not to give anybody any ideas, but I'm wondering if you guys were one of those ones I heard about.
No, we're not
You know
that
what? I'm not a Ferris wheel guy. I think the Ferris wheel is boring, and it takes so long to load and unload, and then you go around a couple times. Like, I got better things to do than
It's all about the company. You're just with the wrong person on the Ferris wheel.
What
If you're with the
kind-
right person on the Ferris wheel, it's great.
What kind of a moron would break up with his girlfriend at the top of the Ferris? Because you can't go anywhere. You just got to sit there. She's either going to scream at you or she's going to cry. Neither one do you want to deal with, but you have nowhere to go. You're stuck on the Ferris
Well,
wheel.
he made it look like he was going to dump her over the seat, though.
Yeah, she's psyching her out.
You would probably do that.
Me?
Jeff's dumped a lot of girls, so I don't.
Oh, thank you guys so much for coming on. We really, truly do appreciate it. Again, the Tioga County Fair running through this week. Thursday night, you can check out Rhonda Vincent there. I believe it's at 6 and 8 o'clock, if I got that right. Thank you guys again so much for coming on. Truly, truly appreciate it.
And Rhonda, seriously, usually when people like security and stuff hassles you and you say, no, I'm with the band, just say, no, I know Jeff. And then they just step aside and they let you have the run of the place.
Perfect. I'll do that.
That's all you need to say.
Thank you guys so much for putting up with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the fun. Take care. I'll see you at the fair.
Thank you. All right. Awesome. What do you think?
It goes good.
Go see a little bluegrass, huh?
Well, I didn't like when we started this and put out. I had no idea that we were gonna have a Grammy winner on like that. Like, 3 weeks from now, I'm gonna say, well, I don't know, on the show, we interview people, we talk to a Grammy winner, and they're gonna be like, the real Grammys, yeah, we
slide down a smidge.
It's no big deal. What? This way?
This way? That way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it is really, really neat. And it's always neat to hear musicians' stories too, because they all just have different, unique experiences. And it's just this. It's not like a club, but it's like how many people are going on tour. They're on a bus. They're with this collective group. You're hearing these stories. Just always need to talk to somebody like that.
The thing that always fascinates me is like, I mean, they're in the creative world, in the art, even though it's not like the art world. I think musicians, but when you hand an artist something and they can just draw it,
yes,
it always fascinates me because I can't draw anything. And when you tell a musician, like she said, like you hum a couple bars and they can just play it, is mind-boggling to me because I don't understand how people can do that. But like of the stupid things that I will remember from this interview, that they don't have a set list to me is incredible.
No, really.
That like I can just see the guys in the band like, what are you gonna play next? And she's like, and they're like, no, not yet. And then, but like, hey, we'll do this and then go. It's like a football team leaving the huddle.
Yeah.
Like this is the play, we're gonna run it. This is the song, we're gonna play it. But a play isn't as nearly as complex as a song.
Oh, I agree. I'm with you. I didn't get to say this to her. I love that it's The Rage. Rhonda Vincent and The Rage, which is just The Rage with a bluegrass. I just love but she said it's a party. Like she said, they go hard.
Well, it's not I'm not a bluegrass expert. It's not a mopey, melancholy.
Not at all.
It is a party band.
Yeah.
Or it's a party genre.
It's a foot tapper, without a doubt.
It's a foot tapper. That's very well said.
100%.
That is very well said.
Have you ever been to like a bluegrass festival or anything like that?
No.
This is, I don't know, people listening from Tioga County might know this. There is a place by Mansfield University. They used to call it the Grove. So it's a couple of houses that are lined up right below the university. And there used to be like a small time bluegrass band that would get together and they would play there on the weekends. And everybody from the neighborhood and the university people would be walking by and they would play. And it was a party without a doubt. And they would just play bluegrass the whole time.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
And it's also fascinating when you see, like she talked about the bluegrass band that did yesterday. And there's so many, we've seen it. We saw it in the early 2000s, kind of when they did, didn't CMT do the crossover where they have like the rock and roll people and the country people and the genres can so intermix.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take musicians that are that good that, like I wondered if they did any like real like rock and roll songs.
Covers.
Cover of a, maybe John Mellencamp or Springsteen or somebody like that, Chuck Berry, something like that if they did anything of that ilk, because obviously you'd have to rearrange it a little, but they could.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I mean, go to the Tioga County Fair. Make sure you check out Rhonda Vincent and the Rage. Thank you to Rachel
Tomorrow
for coming
night.
on.
They're not
tomorrow
tonight.
night.
She's tomorrow night.
6 and 8.
2 shows.
Thank you again to Rachel for coming on. Get a chance to check out. Is there anything before we go? Is there anything that was on your mind? Anything you wanted to chat about? I know we've been covering the news a ton lately. I didn't know if there was anything kind of
I was trying to think,
wonky
did
or
anything
something
happen
else.
yesterday that the Orioles won again? I do want to mention Orioles. No, I don't.
I'm just putting you on the spot. It's okay. If you
No,
don't mind.
I was kind of pumped to, like, this is because she's a Grammy winner. Like, how many Grammy winners do I get to speak to? So I really wanted to, I had some couple questions I wanted to ask. So, yeah, if you're up there, even if you're in obviously Southern New York State, I don't really, when you get to the fair, you never have a bad time, and you don't like it's not like going to a salad bar. Like, your food isn't the healthiest stuff, but it's delicious.
Right.
And it is, like I always tell people, it's hard to find funnel cakes, and there's stuff you get there that you never get anywhere else. So if you're in the area and obviously the weather's good, check it out. And tomorrow night, when did she said the bull riding is tomorrow night as well, isn't it?
I
Didn't
believe
she
so.
say that was on Thursday? The tractor pull was last night.
TiogaCountyFair.com. I've been to the Demolition Derby. Have you ever been to a real Demolition Derby?
I watched Piggy
neat.
Tuscadero on Happy Days. But that's the closest I've ever come. I've walked around while it was going on, and it's loud.
So the Demolition Derby is cool. I don't know if you saw this or not. There was videos going around for the 4th of July, because obviously, like, when you think of the 4th of July, fireworks, maybe a parade, hot dogs, grill. In Alaska, there's a community where they take old beaten down vehicles and they fly them off of like this ridge. Did you see videos of this at all? So it's like a demolition derby, but it's like, instead of the cars hitting each other, they just fly stuff off of this ridge, and these cars are dropping hundreds of feet down this ravine, and they just hit and smash, and everyone just cheers and goes crazy. That's their 4th of July tradition in this town in Alaska.
So some dude gets in the car, gets it driving, and then bails?
I don't know if that, I mean, my guess is they probably like brick it or rock it on the gas pedal.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think?
Yes.
I would assume that's what's happening. But
Well, no, I don't know. I could see at the county fair. I could see there's like Ned and Leroy, and they just take turns. They get close.
I mean, it's Alaska.
Tuck
I don't
and
know.
roll.
I don't know if there's a Ned or a Leroy in
I'm
Alaska.
sure there are.
You think so?
Sure. Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
So anyway, so that's what they do in Alaska to celebrate the 4th of July. So I enjoy that as well.
You know what I'm thinking too?
What? What are you thinking?
Maple cotton candy. I'm not seeing it.
Really?
But
it would just be sweeter.
Isn't cotton candy about it's pure sugar, isn't it? Can it get sweeter?
But isn't that the point though? Like, if you're gonna go for it, like, go for it.
I guess.
You know? Like, who gets cotton candies? Like, boy, I wish this wasn't as sweet. Like, that's why you're getting it.
like cotton candy light.
Yeah.
I guess, and I'm sure it's just like drizzled.
Yeah.
It's not soaked. But that's interesting.
I bet it's delicious. We should start going to some of these fairs. We don't go to enough of these.
I went to Lycoming County Fair.
You did, but you went. It was hot.
That's the problem with it
hot.
was 90-some degrees every day, and it was either the last day or the next to the last day.
Okay.
And I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I think I went by myself because my kids went, and I knew a buddy of mine was working a stand there, so I went and talked to him.
Yeah.
But it was during the heat wave, so that was tough. Honest to God, if I lived up, the fairs are always fun. The county fairs are always fun.
Yeah.
The state fairs, like down in Bloomsburg when they have that, I have never had a bad time at the fair.
So I should tell you, tomorrow night I am seeing Kenny Chesney.
Where?
Syracuse, New York.
How far is Syracuse from here? 3.5?
2.5. 2.5.
Oh, that's it?
It's probably closer to 3 from Williamsport, 2.5 from the northern tier. Yeah.
See, I'm a 90s. Like, I know Kenny Chesney's good, but I was back in the Garth Brooks and Dunn.
He's close, though.
Black Hawk.
He's as close as you can be to not being mentioned in that group.
Like,
do you understand what I'm saying?
A little bit of Toby Keith.
Yeah, but
like
that's but see, I think he's closer to Toby than some of the people you're mentioning, as far as like time
Maybe.
time range.
Travis Tritt.
Yeah, he's very, very close to being in that. I agree with you. That's probably the group prior, but he's very close to being.
I saw. Did Travis Tritt just play in Troy?
I don't know.
He's somewhere because he's in over in the eastern part of the state. I want to say Allentown, but I'm just guessing. But he is out right now. He's a lot of fun. I would like to see Travis Tritt. I never saw him. I've never seen him.
We should, because I doubt you've ever been. So in Allentown, Pennsylvania, they have one of the biggest music festivals on the East Coast.
Okay.
So all week long, they set up all these different tents along the street, and they have different genres in each tent. So depending on what you want to listen to, like there's a country tent, there's a jazz tent. There probably is a death metal night. I don't know if they have a death metal tent, but they probably have a death metal night. So they have all these different tents, all the different genres, different nights for different. It is really cool because you can you grab a drink, you go to this tent, you listen to jazz for 15 minutes. You go to the next tent, you listen to country for 15, and you just kind of work your way down the tent. Really, really cool. If you've never been to
I
it.
believe that. I never even heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's almost 2 weeks long now because that's how many people, like participants, they have.
Huh.
Really, really cool.
And this shows how old I am.
Mhm.
That and I grew up with the Hairspray bands, and I like Metallica. I've seen Metallica and Iron Maiden, all that stuff.
Okay.
And I had a client who listened to death metal, and he played me a song, and I was just like, then he played me another song, and I was like, they sound the same. He's like, oh, no, they don't sound the same. So I can only imagine the parents and grandparents when rock and roll first came out were like, it all sounds the same. And you're like, no, it doesn't. Death metal all sounds the same.
There is, yes. For me, it does. I understand why for some people it doesn't. Here's my thing with death metal. I like lyrics. I'm really, like my biggest struggle with jazz is the lack of lyrics in most of it. And so because of that, I struggle with metal because lyricism in metal isn't the most important part of the music.
I am a turn it up, sing along kind of guy too.
Yes.
So yes, I'm with you. That's why, what was the song that I said yesterday? Hopelessly Devoted. If anyone on earth doesn't like Hopelessly Devoted, then you're just a terrible human being. So, because it is one of those, sing it as loud as you can sing it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Most Grease songs are like that though. No?
Are they? Not like that one.
Not like that one?
Nah, I'm out of my head. It's where everyone in the bar is singing it together. Like there just aren't that many, but yeah.
There was
Hopelessly Devoted one.
There was a chart. I should have sent it to you. I don't know why I didn't, but it had the best bar sing-alongs, and it had them like listed. Do you want to guess what number one was?
Yeah. Garth. Friends in Low Places.
It was not. They had it number 2.
Well, they're wrong.
They probably are. That was their number 2.
Hold on. What would be number 1? And we have a topic for tomorrow that I think will fascinate most people. That Jeff popped on me yesterday. I'm not even gonna give a hint because I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
What would be Friends in Low Places? Sweet Caroline?
It was Sweet Caroline.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
They had Sweet Caroline ahead of Friends in Low Places.
No, that's fair.
Okay.
I would have probably done it the other way, but I'm younger. I was there when Friends in Low Places showed up. Like Sweet Caroline was an older song.
Do you remember, like when you were a kid, what was your first like radio anthem? Like what was the song as a kid?
Thank God I'm a Country Boy.
Okay. When I was a kid.
Oh, no. Sorry, I got the wrong one. John, Take Me Home Country Roads.
That was like the first song where
that was
as
first,
a kid.
My parents had it on 8-track.
Okay.
And when we would travel and they had ABBA and the Beatles and Neil Diamond and the first love, John Denver's great. It's the first song on John Denver's greatest hits. Take Me Home Country. And I know like I own John Denver's greatest hits on CD. I know every word to every song.
So when I I had to be like 6 or 7. The first like viral song I remember, and it didn't matter where I went. My grandparents were playing it. My parents were playing it on the radio. It was Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. You couldn't, and I remember being like a 7-year-old, and there was like a span of time where I was like, the radio just plays the same song every 5 minutes. Like I thought that's how the radio worked.
You know what's funny?
Because of Achy Breaky Heart.
I saw Billy Ray in the 90s.
Yeah. Here, are we gonna do this for a while?
What?
Or just if we're gonna do this?
Kick back?
I mean, if we're gonna do this for a while.
Oh well, then I'll just put my feet up on yours.
Yeah, no.
I think because everyone knows Achy Breaky Heart, and it's one of those double-edged sword. It's so catchy and it's corny. He has some really good stuff.
Okay.
Some Gave All's a great song. It Won't Be the Last. Because Achy Break Your Heart's not. It Won't Be the Last is a great song. I always sing. I Know the Words by Heart is a fun song.
Okay. So you're gonna make fun of me. I've never told you this before. If I was making a list of like my favorite songs of all time, and my girlfriend will verify this, top 10 is Billy Ray Cyrus, Could Have Been Me. I know every word, and I belt
that's a great song.
I belt that song every time it comes on.
I think because he was the mullet, like he was the mullet, and then he kind of, I think the mullet, I think Achy Breaky Heart, and then I think because his daughter became an Uber star, and he became kind of stage dad for a little while. Like you had your time, and now it's your daughter's time. He has some really, really good songs, and I don't think he gets enough appreciation.
You've said on the show before that you're a huge fan of Miley Cyrus. I would love for her to do something country, bluegrass. Like I would love to hear her voice do something like that.
Did you ever hear her do like Stevie Nicks?
I've heard her do Jolene.
Okay.
I've heard her do Jolene, but I would love for her to make her own 12-track, like country-ish, even if it was like soft rock, but I would love to have her do something like that.
I think the concert tour of, I didn't even tell you this. Hold on. How much time have we been on here? Do we have more time to babble? Okay. Because like for this, as I've said multiple times, even today, I saw Def Leppard and Poison and Motley Crue and Joan Jett this summer. And it's, the kind of the nostalgia tour for people my age. At Baltimore the other day, it was at the Oriole game. It was a 5:05 start, and afterwards they had a tribute to the 90s day.
Okay.
Spinderella was the DJ.
Yes.
Cisco was there.
Okay.
Drew Hill, because they're a Baltimore band, I want to say.
Was Snoop
Dogg
Dogg
was
there?
not there. Smash Mouth was there.
I have a crazy Smash Mouth story for you if you want it.
In years, like 20 years from now, the tour of like the unappreciated, unfairly beat up kids will be Bieber and Miley. And they will go on tour together in their 40s, and everyone from their generation will go, because they are both really, really talented.
Okay.
And I just think the world has just beat them up way more than they should have.
What will be interesting is they're going to be the first generation where they will make more money outside of touring than making money touring. And so I wonder, they will have to be super incentivized in order to do some of the stuff that these other people are doing right now.
To hear the roar of the crowd.
I don't disagree with you. I was looking up the other day, the top subscribing channels on YouTube. Justin Bieber's like 7.
I believe it.
Justin Bieber almost is top. So here's what I'm saying to you is, every time someone plays a Justin Bieber video on YouTube, like he's getting money, like he's getting paid.
Have you seen the documentary about Bieber?
The one like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was wild. The thing about it, like, I think people see like he's a kid, it's hokey, it's a little like Britney Spears-ish, because Britney's a singer and a performer, but I can't believe Britney plays any instruments. Am I wrong?
Well, I would assume maybe she knows some guitar, some piano, like those basic songwriting functions.
Maybe. Does she write any songs?
Britney? I would imagine she's a lyricist, don't you think?
I saw in this documentary, they had video of Bieber as like an 8 or 9-year-old kid sitting on the courthouse steps was he from Toronto? He's from somewhere in Canada. Just like, and he's got his guitar case open and he's just playing and singing, and people are throwing change in as he goes by. I saw him. He clearly plays the piano. He sat down on a drum kit and just started playing. And I was like, wow, not only can he sing, but he plays multiple, like he is truly a musician. And
does it bother you that people today aren't like that?
No, because there were lots of lead singers from the older generations who barely played or a little played. But like, what's just always bothered me, and Miley kind of falls into it that they were young, they were uber successful, they were attractive, and the world was so jealous that they hated them. When they were everything that everyone would want to be, but because it wasn't
there was nothing else to talk about them. We had done everything until they turned 19, 20, and now there's nothing more to talk about other than their flaws or the things they're not doing.
People just got sick of it. It's like a song.
Sure.
You get sick of hearing the song, so you don't like the song anymore.
It's possible.
They got sick of hearing all these neat things about how they had another number one. I bought Miley Cyrus's last album. It's called, I don't know if it's last, she's had another. It's called Plastic Hearts. And the only thing I didn't even know that she had an album out because it knocked AC/DC out of the number one spot on the the Billboard rock and roll charts.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if this knocked off AC/DC, then there has to be something to it. And I think now not only I think it's really good. Billy Idol plays on it. Joan Jett plays on it.
Right.
Someone else who's way more modern, I can't remember the name, plays on it. But yeah, I don't know.
So do you remember I said I was going to send you a list and I didn't? I asked you what it meant.
So you lied to me.
I did. I asked you what it meant when a song went diamond. Do you remember this conversation? And I said
a song, because when an album goes gold, it's 500,000. When an album goes platinum, it's 1 million.
Correct. So what a diamond certification is in music is when a song has gone platinum 10 times.
So when one song has been purchased 10 million times.
Yes. So the reason this came up, 21 Pilots, their song Heathens, do you remember? It's just like in the last 3 or 4 years.
You sung it.
You probably know that one. Only 82 songs have ever gone diamond. And the list was very interesting. The first one to ever go diamond was Elton John.
Hold on. Let me guess.
Well, too late.
Achy Breaky Heart.
No. Elton John, Something About the Way You Look Tonight, Candle in the Wind, was the first song to ever go diamond. The second one was Baby by Justin Bieber.
Huh. And I don't know. I think Bieber and Miley are both very talented, and they've been beaten up. And I think too, there's also a level that the world will come back and you don't remember this, but Muhammad Ali was not always this beloved figure because he changed and became Muslim, because he was a conscientious objector to the war. Andre Agassi was not always this beloved tennis figure because he wore loud outfits back when you weren't allowed to, and his hair was really long, and he didn't play with it. He just smashed it. Like every ball he hit as hard as he could hit, and it wasn't the typical of way you're supposed to play. So but now as they get older, they become beloved because they were and I think that's what's going to happen with some of these young performers.
But I think what happens is the people that are actually mad at them are just younger. And what happens is the older people phase out, and then the balance of society, the younger people that always loved them are now the basis of society.
Correct.
So whether it was Ali or Agassi or whether it's Bieber and Miley, 10, 15 years from now, the basis of society will be the people who, when they were 17, were they were the greatest things ever.
That's fair.
So that's something. I wanted to read some of these to you because you'll get a kick out of it. The third song ever was an Eminem song, Not Afraid. Fourth was Lady Gaga, Bad Romance.
Which is a great song.
Yes. 5 was Imagine Dragons, who Jerry's going to see soon, Radioactive. 6 is one of my favorites, Thrift Shop by Macklemore. I don't know if you remember that song or not. Here's what's funny. As you start to go through this list, I don't want to go through all the numbers, but I want to read some of the artists to you. Gaga, Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe, Bruno Mars, Katy Perry, Lorde, Katy Perry, Meghan Trainor, Justin Bieber. I promise there's a point I'm going to make. Katy Perry, Eminem, Robin Thicke, Black Eyed Peas, LMAFO. Here's the point I'm going to make to you. We are going to have a music history problem because of streaming services. Because most of the songs that are going to go platinum and diamond, they're not there's going to be historical lists where nothing before the late 90s makes the list.
Well, yes. Yeah.
And then how do you measure those up? How do you compare those things? Because I think going through the list that day, Katy Perry's has 7 diamond singles. There's only 80 something ever. She has 7, and the Beatles I think have 1.
No, I get it because people didn't buy music that way, and
So we're gonna have a
Yeah.
hard time deciding, like, historically how to measure some of this stuff up.
As it dies off, like for our generation, how brilliant was Charlie Chaplin?
Sure.
Even though he was so brilliant in his time, now that people can talk in the movies, he's not all that brilliant. So, like,
I would argue it makes him more brilliant.
I mean, maybe
It's really hard to act without saying it. Dialogue really matters.
But yeah, like when you talk to people now, who is a better, Steven Spielberg or Charlie Chaplin?
Right.
Well, so yeah, I mean, as it dies off, as we die off, which I'm hoping doesn't happen soon.
One of the 80-something songs is Baby Shark, in case you wanted to know.
I don't know that song.
Baby Shark, da, 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 Baby Shark, da, da. No, time out. You don't have any nieces, nephews, kids in your life that you've heard Baby Shark before.
I have no nieces or nephews that are younger than my kids.
I'm pretty sure you're a villain if you don't know the song Baby Shark.
What's it from?
Baby Shark?
Just a song?
It's just a song. It's just
Baby
like a children.
Shark.
It's like the old McDonald's had a farm. Now you sing Baby Shark. You don't know Baby Shark?
No.
And then you switch it, and then instead of Baby Shark, it'd be like Mark the Shark, da, 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 and then like once you get through, you'd be like Jeffrey Shark, and you just keep going around the room. That's how kids like learn names and stuff. No?
Interesting.
Well, anyway, Baby Shark has more diamond records than pick your artist. Pick your favorite artist.
So so every Little League coach, you know what I used to do in Little League?
What?
When I get all these kids and I didn't know who they were, we would get in a circle the first day. And I'm like, all right, just so everyone knows who their teammates are, I don't want anything to be awkward.
Right.
Just start here. We're going to go around the circle and say your first name. And we go around one way. And then I'd be like, okay, now go back around the other way. And then I'd be like, all right, now do it as fast as you can. And we do it like 4 or 5 times until I got everyone's name. But I told them it was so the teammates knew each other, and we tried to make it fun.
It was really,
but it was just so I could learn all the kids.
It was really for you. The only other band that I see on this before 2000 is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
And that was because of the movie.
Every other song, I'm almost to the end of the list. I know this is great podcasting, great television. Oh, you're going to love this. All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey made the list as well.
Great song. How can you not like that song? You don't. You don't, because you're just kind of a
All I Want for Christmas. Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's unbelievably. I think it's unbelievably overplayed now.
Well, but that doesn't make it not good.
I've compared it in the past to the movie A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story is great, but when it's on television for 24 hours every Christmas, I no longer watch A Christmas Story. It's been saturated.
You don't have to
All I Want for Christmas is saturated. That's all I'm saying.
That's like saying chocolate isn't good because you have it every day. It's still good.
Yeah, but you start to lose the greatness about it.
Then don't have it every day. Don't watch It's a Christmas Story 24 hours.
If TBS puts it on for 24 hours, you're gonna see it. You can't avoid it.
You don't have a remote?
What do you watch every year?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life, and you watch it at midnight, right?
No. Just Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
I watch it Christmas Eve. I used to watch it when the kids went to bed and I was wrapping presents, and then now it's just whenever. I want to get my hopes up. I think it's coming to like theaters this year. I know certain places it does, but I had read.
Wait, you think It's a Wonderful Life is coming?
It's going to be re-released on big screen.
It's not a special anniversary. You're going to hate this, but why don't they redo it? I feel like that's a very redoable movie. You don't think so? I feel like you could pull that off.
I mean, yes, you probably could to a degree, but
couldn't Hanks be the angel?
Yeah, but like
Hanks could be the angel. Who would be? Stewart? Well, let's think about it. That's the game right now. Who's Jimmy Stewart? Matthew McConaughey. McConaughey could do Stewart.
McConaughey can do everything.
There you go. So we have our angel and we have our Stewart. It wouldn't
be Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed.
I get that, but I'm saying, like, how old is the movie now?
Was it 46?
I'm not saying you need to remake it because like it has to be replaced. I'm just saying we're far enough removed now where I feel like it would be its own thing.
Yeah, it was 75 years last year.
Okay. Yeah, so I feel like we're far enough removed now where if you redid it, it would be its own new thing for a new generation of people. No?
Okay, so then I get what you're saying. Should they remake The Wizard of Oz?
Oh, yes. Well, they've done that. They've done that
They
all
did
the
the
time.
Wiz, but that's not.
You don't think they've redone The Wizard of Oz?
Not with the new Dorothy. There's only one Dorothy.
If Ariana Grande did The Wizard of Oz, you're telling me that wouldn't be successful?
I mean, yes, it would be successful, but wouldn't it be? It's like I think all these people look at the LeBron Space Jam.
Yes. It was too soon. I think that's the difference. I think
I disagree.
the two examples that we just talked about, you're far enough removed that you have a whole new generation seeing this stuff for the first time.
But all the
Space Jam, that generation had it moved on.
Those 12-year-olds hadn't seen. They weren't alive when the first one came out. When the first one came out, 92.
Okay.
It was 30 years ago.
I know, but I saw it, and you and I agree. Like, I'm not young, but I'm not old.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I think there's a.
I think once you
This
get
is gonna
past
sound
like
corny.
the 50-minute, like once you get past the 50-year like mark of something and it's never been redone, I don't think you're replacing it. I think you're just redoing it for the next group.
I think it's fine with the first group. I think there are certain levels, and I know they've redone it with A Star Is Born, and Judy Garland was the star of that, and she was actually the second version. There's been 4 versions. I get what you're saying. I think this is going to sound over dramatic, but there's something sacred about Judy Garland being Dorothy, and I think if they ask Ariana Grande with all the money, I think she would say no. Like,
Really think so?
Yeah, I think
if they really the money was there and they were going to go for it, you really think she'd say no to that?
I don't think. Nah, yeah, I don't. I think there's a couple. I think It's a Wonderful Life. I think The Wizard of Oz. I think there's a magic to it that you can't.
This is what I would say. I think when you talk about like a Garland, and obviously I wasn't there for it. However, I find it hard to believe that if you got somebody as big as her or on that level, you couldn't pull it off. And I think Ariana Grande is.
Oh, you could pull it off. And
Correct.
If they were going to depict someone, it is Ariana Grande.
Yes.
But
I guess this is what I'm saying. You talk about Garland as if she's sacred, and that's fine. Like, I don't even necessarily disagree with you, but like, she's not the only sacred person. We have other people that could play these sacred parts. Like that's why I said Hanks. Like, that's why I said Ariana Grande. Like, there are people that are on a level comparable to these other people.
Like, and I know you said that they did it too soon, which is fair.
Yeah.
They remade Footloose and it flopped.
Yes.
They remade Red Dawn.
It's
and I
too
don't know if
soon.
everyone liked it. And you're saying,
what year was Top Gun?
86, 7.
So they were close to almost 40 years. See, to me, that's like the minimum.
And they didn't remake it. They made a sequel.
That's true too. Yes.
So
that's not even a fair comparison to what we're talking about necessarily.
No, I don't know. I mean, they could. If they did a new Wizard of Oz, everyone would see it, but everyone would hate it.
Why don't they try to do Casablanca? Like, why don't they try to do some of this?
I tried to watch Casablanca once. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I should try again. I should put my phone down and try again. I made it through Casablanca. I've never watched.
Anybody still listening? Comment like, what are some old movies they should try to redo?
Nobody's still listening. See, you just
that
walked right into this.
You say that every
Nobody's
time.
listening, and now we're gonna look back.
You're an awful co-host. just the worst sometimes. You know that, right? It's just brutal. Maybe we should move the show to the couch in general.
You think?
I don't know. What do you think?
This isn't bad. I'm a little jealous that you have your footrest here.
Well, I sat in the right place. I don't know what else to tell.
No, I do like this. I like this better.
We could come up with something.
Yeah, and we got Snoop Dogg.
We could restructure the show and figure it out.
We have Snoop Dogg in the background.
We have a sponsor coming in the fall. Maybe with the sponsor, there will be some restructuring with the set as well. That's possible, don't you think?
I think we're on to something.
Putting the couch there. All right. Well, that was good. We have some more people coming up next week. Possibly the end of this week. We'll have another guest as well.
Yeah, I think we have an exciting guest tomorrow. We should check that out. Someone just commented.
Someone commented? There it is.
But see, here's the problem.
There's Bogue. Remake Gone with the Wind.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Gone with the Wind?
I've never seen Gone with the Wind. I own it. I've never seen it. Is that the I Don't Give a Damn, or is that the other one?
No, I'm pretty sure
is
it's
that Casablanca?
No, I Don't Give a Damn.
Okay.
Can't believe you've never seen
Gone with the Wind.
I mean, I was a teenager when I first saw it, and I probably haven't seen it in 15 years, but wow. I mean, I have some. I've told you before. Like, I've only seen the first Godfather. I I haven't seen the rest of them, and I really didn't love the first one.
I'm with you. We are the only two. Like I've never seen part 2 either. I don't think, and I know it won Academy Award stuff.
Yeah.
I've watched The Godfather multiple times, trying to get why it's the greatest movie of all time, and I don't get it.
That was the other one for me that you keep. I've never seen Pulp Fiction yet either. I know you get upset with me every time I tell you that.
You just when you were just talking about dialogue, it is so. And this is the thing too. And I was too young. I saw it in
It's
college.
Tarantino, right?
It's Tarantino.
Okay.
It is. The first time I saw it, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But as everyone was going gaga over this movie, I thought it was like cool. But it's funky, and it's the timing of. There is so much brilliant dialogue in it that every time I stumble across it now, I just stop and pick it up where it's at.
Some of the scene. This is one of the most underrated parts about like TikTok and social media. Some of the scenes now are going viral because kids have never seen the scenes before with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
And so there's like these 2-minute clips from the movie that are popping up on my feed randomly because kids are like, oh my gosh, like that scene was crazy. What's this movie? So that is one of the most underrated parts of it.
You should. And you should sit down and watch it and understand after watching it a first time, you're going to need to watch it 2 or 3 times to fully grasp the brilliance of it.
Of Pulp Fiction?
Yes. I just told someone my favorite line from it, and it's so subtle and it's so quiet. And I don't know how many I'd probably seen it 5 or 6 or 7 times, maybe not all the way through, but in pieces. You come across something halfway through. And the first time I heard it enough that it resonated, I was like, my God, that line is brilliant.
If the Breakfast Club is the Breakfast Club too new to remake, would be real interested to see how it would get remade to the modern era. Interesting. Actually, I don't think it's too new because of how much has changed in schools.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking because, you can't like The Breakfast Club because it's from the 80s and you hate everything from the 80s.
I don't love The Breakfast Club. I'll just say it. I don't love it. I think I found it hard to look away, but then I found it underwhelming at the end. Like I just didn't love it.
Before I make fun of you, for full disclosure, I didn't see The Breakfast Club. It came out when I was in high school. I didn't see it till I was married.
Okay.
And my ex-wife was like, "You have never seen The Breakfast Club? We're watching it tomorrow."
Yeah.
And she made me watch it, and it's like
it's fine
for what it is. It's fine.
It's fine. It is. Again, you can't, as you're watching it, you can't look away. But part of the reason you can't look away is like I kept thinking there's something deeper, something's gonna happen, but then I just felt underwhelmed at the end of it.
I don't know. I don't want to say there's a cuteness to it.
He says it was 1985. I think
Breakfast Club's probably 85. That's about right.
Yeah, I think Breakfast Club. I think you could remake the Breakfast Club. The tricky part though would be you have to.
But would it be good?
Yes, but I think one of the hardest things would be in today's Hollywood, like the way things work today, every character would be a superstar. And so the characters might not work the way they did in the 85.
Like, I'll tell you, an all-time classic that you could never remake is Back to the Future.
Really? You don't think you could remake it?
It's perfect the way it is.
What makes you...
perfect the way it is.
I agree, but what makes you think you couldn't remake it? They remade Teen Wolf on MTV. They did. You don't remember? Did you ever see that? They remade Teen Wolf on MTV. I don't know why you're laughing.
Oh,
it's a thing they did.
You're right.
I'm just saying. You don't think anybody could do Back to the Future right now?
No.
Really?
No.
Morgan?
Not better.
No, it couldn't be Morgan Freeman. Who could be the professor?
Not better than the first.
Who could be the professor?
Jim Carrey. But not better than the first.
Oh, Jim Carrey. And then who would be Michael J. Fox? I'm obsessed with Jim Carrey as the professor in the new Back to the Future.
Who would play Marty McFly?
That might have been the smartest thing you've said on the Midday Show in a year and a half.
And I just came to it too.
He's perfect.
He's perfect. But it's not going to happen.
You know who else? You know who else would be really good? And this is cheating because like Jeff Daniels would knock it out of the park too.
Yeah. I think Jim Carrey's he's got that tall, skinny, the way Dr.
Yes.
Brown was.
No, I totally agree with you. Who would be the new Marty McFly?
He doesn't know. And he leaves. And he just bails, right? Like that. See, don't walk in the middle of our show, we'll put you on the spot.
I'm having a hard time trying to come up with who is today's Michael J. Fox.
I'm trying to think of a kid.
Who's today's Michael J. Fox? Can it be the Stranger Things kid?
Maybe.
That's a tough one. I don't have a great answer.
A couple years back, it might have been able to be Leonard from Big Bang.
Okay. Not now.
But not now. He's too old. That's a good question. Young Sheldon?
It's an interesting one. Anything else before we go? We're going to head out.
No. O's maybe with a sweep. Yankees are getting hurt a lot. They can't score.
Everyone feels bad for the Yankees. Let me tell you.
Dude fouled one off his foot and broke his foot. It's I kept telling Jerry and Aaron here, they were already getting ready for the parade. I was like, listen, you got to stay healthy. If they're healthy in October, then yeah, they're a great team.
The Yankees should do fundraising like the Republicans and the Democrats do anytime something goes wrong.
Is that
like when the abortion thing happened, like the Democrats were like, give us money. And then when Trump got, raided, he was like, give me money. Like the Yankees go, for whatever.
Fouls the ball off his foot and breaks his foot.
The Yankees should send emails immediately asking for money. Yes. Immediately send out emails to all of their ticket holders how this is impossible to do and we need more money if we're going to survive.
It's one of the things I love, like the beginning of the NFL season, and people talk about, we're the best team in our It's just like, are you healthy after Thanksgiving? Like, who gets hurt? It all depends who gets hurt. And right now, the Yankees are beat up a little bit. So we'll see.
We should do a fantasy league here in the office.
I have some ideas for things like that. We should do something.
You got some ideas.
Why is that fun? Why?
Because I brought it up, and then you're like, I got some ideas.
I like sitting on the
as couch. If like I
this
didn't.
Is gonna be better.
As if I didn't just say it out loud.
That's it. I'm done.
Thank you guys for watching the Midday Show. Thank you again to Rachel Courtney of the Tioga County Fair and Rhonda Vincent. She'll be at the Tioga County Fair Thursday, 6 to 8 o'clock. You can still get tickets. Go check her out.
This is me.
The Queen of Bluegrass. I just shut your mic off.
This is me storming out. I'm storming out.
Thank you. The Queen of Bluegrass. Make sure you go check her out. Lawrenceville, Pennsylvania, Tioga County Fair. Going on this week.
Go ahead. What is it?
The Maple Maple Syrup Appalachian Mamas. You can find their syrup. What is it?
I don't remember. I didn't listen.
All right. You can find their maple syrup as well. Thank you guys for watching the Midday Show. Be sure to go to NorthcentralPa.com for all of your local news. I'm Jeff Everett. He's Mark Messina. We will see you guys tomorrow.